What's going on, y'all? This is Layla from DebtFreeSweetie.com, and today I want to talk to you about how to make a budget that works. I know a lot of us have negative connotations and negative associations with the word budget because very often it's in the context of hearing or saying something like, girl, I can't go with y'all to the movies because I'm on a budget. I ain't finna go with y'all, not with this here budget. I would go out of town with y'all, I would go to this concert, but see, I'm on a budget. I used to think that being on a budget was really restrictive, but I found just the opposite to be true, that being on a budget is freeing. So I'm gonna show you what I mean when I say that. Now, if you're so turned off by the word budget, then just get that word off the table. Let's not even call it a budget. Let's call it a plan for monthly financial success. Now, if you've seen some of my videos already, you know that I'm working Dave Ramsey's baby steps to becoming completely debt free. And before I started working these baby steps, before I started working the Dave Ramsey plan, my idea of budget went something like pay my tithes, pay my bills, save a little bit of money, and then if I wanted to make another expense, if I wanted to spend more money, I would just check my bank account to see if I had enough money in there to do that. I thought this was fine because all my bills were getting paid. I was able to take care of all of my financial needs and a lot of my financial wants. The problem was there was no intentionality behind what I was doing, and the principle of my debt didn't really move a whole lot. Now I'm gonna show you how to create a budget that works using 90s R&B sung by your favorite, absolute favorite boy band, Another Bad Creation. You know what song I'm talking about. Iesha, you are the girl that I never had, and I want to get to know you better. That was so corny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to create a budget that works using the acronym of the name Iesha. I know some of y'all spell Iesha different ways. This is how we gonna spell it. I-E-S-H-A. Now here's how you make your budget using the song or the name Iesha. So the I stands for the word income. So first thing you want to do is calculate your income from the month. If you work a steady job, just put whatever that amount of money is that you take in. If you work a couple of jobs, put however much money you expect to take in for that month. The E is for expenses. So you just want to put down all of your expenses for the month. Now this is going to be your bills, this is going to be your tithe and offering, this is going to be anything that you have to spend money on, your gas money, your food, your groceries. Put your expenses down. The S is for special situations. Now here you want to think about things that are particular to that month that's coming in. So for example, you might have Thanksgiving, you might have holidays, you might have your child's birthday or niece and nephew's birthday, you might have your anniversary, you might have a certain ball game or a trip out of town. Anything that's special that's not usually a part of what you expend, your usual expenses, include that in the S. The H is for household. So what I mean by that is you want to make sure that the decision makers in your household are on board. Now, if you're single like I am, then that's pretty simple. You just want to make sure that you have a good budget and you're in line with it. But if you're married, then you want to make sure that your spouse is on board, that you guys have talked about this, and that there's an understanding of where your household money is going to be going for that incoming month. I is for income, E is for expenses, S is for special situations, H is for household, and the last letter A is for assignment. So here is where you now are able to assign every single dollar. You want to make sure every dollar has direction and every penny has a purpose. So this is what's called making a zero-based budget. It means you budget down to zero. So let's say that you have a monthly income of $2,000, right? So first let's write, can y'all see that? Okay, so you have I-E-S-H-A, income, expenses, special situations, household, and assignments. So the first thing to do is to list your income. Let's say you have an income of about $2,000. So the next thing you want to do is list out all your expenses. So you have giving, I'm a tither, I believe in giving, housing, you'll have any health costs, phone bill, any debt like a car loan, student loan, credit card bills, all of that. Gas or transportation costs, food. So I separate food meaning groceries or real food, and then restaurant food. If you're able to save, it's a good idea to put that in there. And then miscellaneous, because things always come up, right? So you have your income, $2,000, and then you have your expenses. We have giving, housing, health, your phone bill, debt, gas or transportation, groceries or food, restaurant, any savings if you're able to dedicate anything for savings that month. and then miscellaneous expenses. You also want to think about any special circumstances. So if you have like your child's birthday or something, you'll put that in there on the list as well. So here's where you want to talk to your spouse if you're married, or if not, then you're good if you're single, right? But you want to make sure that your household is on board with it if that's the case for you. And then the final step is to give every penny purpose and every dollar direction. So you don't want to just say, okay, well, my rent is $800 or $1,000, so I have $1,000 left to play with, right? But we want to dedicate every dollar to a location. So giving, let's say we have $200 because that's 10%. Housing, let's say $800. Now, if you live in LA or New York or San Francisco, you're gonna have to adjust this, right? Health, let's say maybe you have some medicine or your child has medicine or something. Phone, let's say $50. And once again, you know, definitely adjust this to fit your life situation. So this is just an example. Debt, if you have any debts, let's say maybe $500 to put on that, especially if you're working at Snowball. So you want to put as much to that as possible. Gas, let's say that your gas costs maybe $150 for transportation costs. Food, I always put about $100 for myself, and usually I'm able to make that work. But again, you definitely want to make sure that this is true to your life situation. So don't comment talking about that's not enough money. Make it enough for you, right? Restaurant, maybe $25. Savings, if you're able to save anything, that's ideal. Let's say maybe $50. So 200, that's 1,000 there, and then we got let's see, 200 from there, 3, 4, 900 there, and then 975. So we got $25 left. So miscellaneous, $25. So now if you were to subtract all of these things from 2,000, you would come down to 0. So now when you do this before the month starts, you know exactly where every dollar is going to go. So you don't have to sit here at the end of the month and say, where did my money go? You know where it went. If you were faithful to your budget, if you were faithful to Iesha, then you know exactly where your money went. Again, this is just an example, y'all. So if this doesn't fit your life situation, you definitely want to modify this to fit your life situation. So the thing that I like about doing the budget like this, before I used to think a budget was really restrictive, but I found it as freeing because I can put money in here. If I have money during that month to go out to eat, I can say, okay, well, I can spend $25 this month so I can go out with my friends. Or if, you know, if there's a special situation that's coming up, a child's birthday or a trip, then I can say, okay, well, this month I'm going to make the decision because I'm an adult. I'm going to make the decision to take $100 from my debt and dedicate it to something else. You have to work with the amount of money that you actually have. In other words, if you want to spend more money on, let's say, food, you can't just increase your income magically to $2,500, but something's gonna have to come from somewhere else, because this income usually, well, unless you can, if you have more income coming in, you can do more with that. But if you only have a certain amount of income coming in, then you have to work within these parameters. So in other words, if you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go out to eat 10 times this month, and you want to increase your restaurant budget from 25 to 125, then that means that $100 has to come from somewhere else. So you might have to take 100 from your debt and make that 400 instead of 500, or you might want to take, that means, you know, maybe you won't be able to spend as much on gas that month, and instead of 150, you only have $50 to spend. But the idea is that you have to work within the parameters that you have. So if you want to spend more on one category, that means that you either need to increase your income or you need to take money from one category to put it to where you want to spend more on. We're all adults here. You can make any decision you want, but you live with those consequences. So when you when you have your budget, when you stick with your budget, you will find that you know exactly where your money's going, and you don't have to sit there at the end of the month and say, where did my money go? There are a lot of tools out there that can help you budget. I did this example on a board to represent pen and paper. I use an Excel spreadsheet that I created on my own. I think I'll probably share that at some point on my website, DebtFreeSweetie.com. And of course, you can always use the envelope system, right? So what some people will do is they'll take cash out. They'll take out, you know, $200 for giving. They'll take out $800 for housing, $50 for phone, and put it in envelopes. And then once that money's gone, it's gone. I don't like having that much cash on me. So what I'll do is I'll just take out cash for things that I know I'll overspend on, for example, food. So I'll just take out money in my food budget, in my restaurant budget, and that way once the money's gone, it's gone. But for things that are kind of recurring expenses, I'll put that on my debit card so I don't have to worry about having so much money on my person. I don't think that's too safe. So on my website, DebtFreeSweetie.com, I've listed some other tools that you can use to budget. So I'll post a link to the budgeting article in the description box, so make sure you check that out. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and definitely check out DebtFreeSweetie.com, where I'm sharing my journey of becoming completely debt-free, eradicating debt from my life forever. But I don't want you to just watch me. I want to inspire and encourage you to also start or advance your own debt-free journey. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See, I can't go out to eat with y'all because I'm on a budget.